Good evening, Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Today is Thursday, February 24th.
Let's get it poppin'.
I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, I discuss a little bit about the conflict in Ukraine and what's happening here in local politics. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's doing well. I wasn't on last night, and I wasn't on. I was on the day before that, but it was early, and I kind of miss it. I miss coming on, and I felt like something is missing here. So I wanted to come on, even though I almost didn't come on. It's 10:30, but I figured people are off, right? A lot of people anyway. If you work in schools, kids are off, so maybe some people are up. So anyway, good evening. I hope you're having a good day. If you're off, I hope you've been enjoying your break. I have been enjoying my kids, hanging out. My wife also. I get to see her and wake up with her. It's pretty cool, and get to she goes to my office and stuff like that. So I've been enjoying that. I hope you've been having the same great time as I've been having. Anyway, I did want to touch a little bit about local politics. The judges race, Yonkers City Court race, Ada Medina will be kicking off her fundraiser. I just want to announce that fundraiser March 16th at Castle Royale. Not that they paid me to do so or asked me to do so. I just am announcing it because I saw that. It will be at the Castle Royale from 6 to 8 p.m. If anyone's interested in attending the campaign kickoff fundraiser. Again, for Judge Ada Medina to elect her. She was appointed recently by the mayor. As some of you know, there was some controversy there, and I spoke about it in previous podcast. So I wanted to mention that as well. Again, I also mentioned that she did, hire the Precision Strategies, which is the campaign management, strategist company owned by Zahi Jarris, although his son is the what's listed there on the campaign ad. So he's running the show. He's the face. He's very visible. And he was recently named, what was that, by the Yonkers Insider Portraits Achievement or something like that, to that effect. He put that up there. Someone shared it with me and said, hey, look at this. Congratulations, Frank, on your achievement, your Portrait of Achievement award there from Yonkers Insider. I also wanted to mention something that I just learned myself, and although it's kind of a something I think was important or very interesting at least, and I'm not sure why it wasn't mentioned to me before, but it goes back to Catergate, and I'm not trying to talk about this too much because I was told that, and I talk about it because it's relevant, and the recent podcast that I did on it was merely to break down how things happen so people can get an idea of the way things work, right? And it just so happened it's Mike Cater, former city council president. So I basically showed that how it was as after kind of piecing things together. If you didn't see that, it's the Catergate episodes. I break it all down. But one part that I left out, right? And I was asked, why did I leave this out? And I left it out because I didn't know it. And that was the, person that actually typed up the email that was sent in regards to the working condition while he was the city council president's office. A woman by the name of Karen, I can't pronounce the name, Shalari, something like that. Anyway, she, for her part in that plot, she was awarded a job with the Yonkers Police Department in their corrections division. A 60-year-old, something like that, almost 60 years old. You get a job. Now you got a pension. 10 years you're vested, and then you retire. There you go. Great job. That was, I guess, a good deal for Karen. So she gets a pension when she retires shortly, right? I mean, who hires a person, at that age when they're not going to give the city much time, and then they're going to get a pension? All right, so now the city's going to have to pay this person a pension, and they only did 10 years. So, but that's what people get here when you do what you do, when you do to do. So I wanted to mention that because I did leave that part out in my cater plot, and that was an important part. All right, that was an important part to mention that because it shows the perks, the rewards, the gifts, or whatever you want to call it, that people received for their role in the plot to assassinate the character of Michael Cater, the former city council president. Yeah. So, So there you go, Karen. She's doing her thing now. Can't wait to retire, huh? Get that pension. So I wanted to mention that. Definitely want to mention that she worked in Mike Cater's office along with the Zahi Jeris's wife, who I mentioned, who's the owner of Precision Strategies, the company hired by Judge Ada Medina to run her campaign. She worked along with her. She was the one that mentioned something about the former city council president grabbing Zahi Jeris's wife. But I don't know how true that is. I mean, the attention to the people who are saying that obviously were to make him look really bad, So I doubt that happened. Again, I don't know. Everything's possible, but that's what was said, and apparently that's what pissed off Zahi, and then he went after Mike. I don't know. It's crazy, but yeah, that's how it goes. Check out Catergate if you missed it. Check that out. So and Yonkers is talking. Yonkers is definitely talking about Freddie Vasquez in the show, Basement Podcast. The insiders are wondering who are the sources. I don't give up my sources, guys. I do not give up my sources. Promise you that. But they watch and they try to figure out who the sources are based on the information that I'm given. So that's pretty cool. I kind of like that. Yeah. Keep trying to guess. And honestly, I get anonymous. Have anonymous sources. So even I don't know. So if you guys find out, let me know. I'm interested to know. They've given me some pretty good sources. But yeah, people are talking. And they're wondering what's up with this guy. What's up with this guy, Freddie Vasquez? What's his issue, man? What's up with him? And nothing's up with me, guys. I'm here to, speak about what's going on here in the city of Yonkers, bringing transparency. A lot of people are upset, and it's obvious. I get a lot of people giving me information, right? They want to know what's going on. I mean, you got like CSEA, a lot of the members. Hey, where's the contract? Where's Alberto? I still haven't heard from him. Right. So I mention these things because, we got to kind of light a fire under certain people's rear ends, you know what I mean? And get things going for the people here, the city here, and just finding out information and it being brought as truthful as possible. So that's why I do it. That's what's up with me, guys. Don't do what you guys are doing, and I won't be talking about it. So I wanted to mention, that stuff. I thought that was pretty cool, and, we're going to keep doing this and I keep welcoming these sources. And again, I'll never give up the sources. They can keep wondering and let them try to figure it out. And it's not just one or two or three. It's, a lot of sources, a lot of individuals, and I get new sources. So, yeah. Dope. But anyway, I did want to talk a little bit about, world news, right? Ukraine. Are we going to war? Will we be going to World War III? That's what some news outlets are saying. Some media outlets are calling this the potential start to World War III. That's scary. I was recently called a coward because I'm mentioning some gentleman by the name of Robert Baker. Not sure if you guys are familiar with him. I don't know if he's an elected official or he's campaigning to be one here in Westchester. He called me a coward because I asked why should we enter this conflict? Why should we, the U.S., get involved? And he said that's what cowards say. Called me a coward again, simply because I asked the question on his post. I didn't think that was very appropriate, especially if you want to be an elected official. I thought that was very rude, seeing that I wasn't disrespectful. But why should we? And it's not being a coward to ask the question. I mean, we have a lot going on here in this country. There's people struggling right here in America, and as a result of Biden's sanctions, we're going to see prices of gas go up even more. And it's crazy when you watch the news and you see some of these political elites saying, hey, well, we all have to make sacrifices, but they're not making sacrifices. They're not the ones sending their kids. They're not the ones going to war. They're not the ones dying. And they're making money so they can afford any increases in the cost of living. Experts are saying that this is going to cause all goods to go up because prices of oil is going to go up as a result of these sanctions. And Biden today uh, added more sanction as a result of the recent bombing by Russia. And according to mainstream media outlets like CNN, they're blowing the place up, tearing it up over there, and people are, innocent civilians are dying. However, other sources, not just Fox, not just Fox, but other sources are saying that it's not what they are saying. And CNN is saying they're strategically targeting military installations. No civilians have died. And in fact, I saw videos myself where I see Russian troops rolling right through the border with no resistance. In fact, there were no Ukrainian military at all. And I've seen videos of Ukrainian people dancing in front of the Russian troops. Many of them saying they want to be a part of Russia. I don't know. I don't live over there, but that's what I saw. I saw in my research and just watching the news and watching different, news outlets. I like to watch a lot of the independent news outlets also. They present things a little more unbiased, straightforward. And I didn't see any videos of any crazy explosions. I did see some smoke, right? But are the is what they're portraying on the news, like CNN and other liberal media outlets, actually what's happening? Why are they wanting to get us into a war? We have a country that the economy is suffering. Experts are saying that we may see 72% of the, gains wiped out from the stock market. Prices of homes are ever increasing, although salaries are not increasing. That's a bubble right there. Need to pay attention to. Why are prices of homes going up when most people are getting to a point where they can't afford a home? Right? So that's something we have to look out for. And those are signs of a troubling economy. So should we enter a conflict? Our military has already been depleted by over 200,000 troops because they refused to get the vaccine. And now they want to send us or send troops into Ukraine. Putin has warned if anyone interferes, they will see consequences like they've never seen before. Do we want to risk going into World War III and having nuclear missiles come our way? Maybe the rich elite want that. I mean, they have been building bunkers for quite some time now. So anyway, to understand what's going on in the conflict, we kind of have to talk a little bit about the history. Now, a quick, brief history. Anyway, should we get involved? What are the consequences, if any, if we don't intervene? And what are they if we do? To answer the questions, I want to first start by going back into history real quick, something I fear actually is becoming difficult to research, at least to research the truth. As disinformation, misinformation, and fake news becomes more rampant and more prevalent online. Go to Google, you can't find facts about anything anymore, right? It's hard to know if it's real or not, regardless of what the source is. So what exactly is the truth, right? Ukraine has been a country that's been plagued by invasions and, being absorbed by other countries. And it was absorbed by the Russian Federation in the later part of the 18th century, right? Then in 1917, after the Bolshevik Revolution, they agreed to let Ukraine go along with some other states that they held. And then it went back when Russia became the USSR. And then in 91, when the USSR broke up, Ukraine was free. And they've been free, but they've been plagued by corruption, right? And that's been an ongoing conflict over there. So should we get involved? And why should I be called a coward? Because I feel that we should focus on America. We have issues at the border. Have you seen what's going on there? I mean, I've seen busloads of migrants from the borders being brought into Florida. Busloads. And given debit cards with money on it and hotel stay. Not sure why. We have kids being flown into the Westchester County Airport in the middle of the night on private jets. I've never been on a private jet, and I've worked my ass off for many, many years now. I wonder where those kids were going. according to one Westchester County legislator, they were going to be reunited with family and their or sponsors. What do you mean sponsors? Got to watch out for pedophiles, right? That's crazy. But anyway, Putin attacked Ukraine today, and Biden's response was more sanctions affecting our economy. And the response of many of the political elite, many Democrats, is that we all have to make sacrifices. But unlike the rich elite who make money during economic downturns, during conflicts, during wars, the majority of Americans don't. They struggle. They become unemployed. They become homeless. Many of the world's billionaires, including those here in America, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, doubled and tripled their net worth during the lockdowns. They allow Walmarts to be open, but your local mom and pop shops had to be closed. So they don't suffer. So for the gentleman that called me a coward, he's not going to send his kids, nor is he going to fight. But he's going to encourage and promote that we send people to get killed over there and to further disrupt our economy. But he calls me the coward. Now, if you were to go fight, then I would say, okay, but you're not going to fight. So why encourage that? Right? There are no benefits for us, really, if we get into this conflict. And it's important that people, and in this show, again, Basement Politics is about informing people, not just on local politics, not just about, the bonchinche, as we say, Hispanics, that's the gossip, going on within the political establishment here. We have to learn about these events as well. It's very important. Young people need to learn history. They say if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And that is so true. You're easily manipulated. You're easily bamboozled. You're easily fooled if you don't understand history, if you don't know history. If you don't know the past, you can't understand what's happening now and what's going to happen in the future. And we've lost that. And I think that, that's very important. People just, young kids, especially caught up with social media and all that stuff, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying that we have to, focus on that a little bit more. And that's why I think we are where we at as a country, and why our political establishment, our political system, I should say, our government is at an all-time high in terms of corruption. And I'm not talking about local politics, just local politics. I'm talking about national politics. But yes, here locally as well, I was talking with someone today, and they were telling me that Yonkers is bad when it comes to politics here. Bad, bad, bad. But so is Washington, D.C. So why does Biden really want to go into Ukraine? And why does he really want to send troops there? Is it because of his corruption and the investigations that were launched into the Biden family and their illegal activities in the Ukraine? And not just the Ukraine, but in China. And this is not just because of Donald Trump, who asked that the Justice Department investigate Hunter Biden. But this goes back to 2003 when they were investigating Hunter Biden for a position he had with an investment firm where he sat on the board and had a 10% stake after a meeting he went to in China on Air Force Two using the vice president, then Joe Biden jet or plane. And he's been doing it again in Ukraine, where he was recently an employee or an executive at an energy company there in Ukraine, making $800,000 a year. It's very well known that the Biden family has been making millions in the Ukraine illegally and using Biden's authority and power. And in fact, a gentleman just recently came out who said he will testify and swear under oath in front of Congress to that fact. So corruption is a big problem here in America, in our government, locally, state level, county level, and federal level. And it's time that we start to understand this and make change. But it starts here locally. And that's why we need to go out and vote. We need to go out and vote. And that's why I do Basement Politics, to bring information, to inform people as best as I can. I'm not always, I may sometimes make mistakes, but that's the premise of the show. Because I hear it sometimes from people, got to talk about this, you got to talk about that. But I don't want to just talk about something to appease certain individuals or to focus on just bochinche, the gossip, but I want to do Basement Politics to inform people on politics. And when I do speak on certain individuals or the bochinche, like in my episodes of Catergate, the point there is not so much about Michael Cater. The point there is about the way the system operates. And that's what I want people to get, and why it needs to be changed, and why we need to go vote. And it's not just, again, local politics. And that's why I wanted to speak about a little bit about Ukraine and what's going on there. And should we go into war? Should we not go into war? And is political corruption affecting the decisions that will be made in terms of this conflict? So we have to go out and vote, but we have to understand it so we know this isn't right. We need to change this. And that's what's important. And that's why I speak about different things, and I will continue to do that, speak about other things as well, national politics as well, global politics eventually, so I can broaden that, my programming, because I think that's important. So I just wanted to mention that, talk a little bit about Ukraine. Hopefully we won't be going to war. Hopefully we won't have World War III, nuclear. My grandmother always told me that if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there are things that are happening now, mistakes that are being made now, that if, we knew our history, and they're not mistakes by the individuals, they know what they're doing, right? Those that are in power. I'm talking about the people. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing what's happening, and it's been done before, and we have to stand up to it, right? But because we don't know our history, many times we do repeat it, and it's looking like we may repeat it again. If we go to another war, how many wars are we going to have again, right? World War III. But yeah, so that's definitely so true. It's so true. And this is why I tried to I wanted to talk about that and just bring that up a little bit, and even talk about the history. I had more. My wife was like, no, don't say all that. You don't have to put all that in there. But I love history. My dad got me into history a lot. And so he was big on history. So I think it's so important. And, so definitely, I will be talking about that more. And I wanted to go in more in depth into the Bolshevik Revolution and talk about Leon Trotsky and stuff like that. But I don't want to bore people. I don't want to bore people. But yeah, so anyway, folks, keep an eye on that, what's going on in the Ukraine. That's very important, because it's going to affect us here in Yonkers. Yeah, us folks here in Yonkers, wherever you live, South Side, West Side, North Side, right? When we go to the pump and the gas prices are $6 a gallon. Thank Biden, because since Biden's been in office, we've been paying crazy prices at the pump. But it's gonna go up because of the sanctions. Russia is a producer of oil. He's cutting off any business with the West. U.S., Great Britain, and its allies are imposing sanctions on Russia. That means oil prices will go up. That means that when you go to the pump, you're going to pay more. That means you're going to pay more for goods and services, because a lot of times these goods, well, especially goods, but services also depend on oil, right? They got to ship the goods to the stores, right? And in order for someone to provide you a service, they may need to drive, like I do. I have to drive to my clients, right? So, you got to, so I may have to, include that now in my whatever fee I charge. I'm going to increase my fee now. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to pass it down to the customer. That's what businesses do. They pass down all cost increases to the customer. They got to pay higher taxes. The customer pays it. If the rent goes up, the customer pays it, right? So now gas prices will go up. Businesses will have to pay more for their goods that they sell. They're going to pass that on to the customers. So how are we benefiting? So to the individual, Robert Baker, The man who's, I don't know if he's actually an elected official or he's looking to be an elected official. That's not the way you engage the public. You don't call someone a coward because they ask a question. You articulate your position in a manner that they can understand, because you don't know also what capacity intellectually they are. So you have to make sure that you can be able to explain it in layman's terms, but be respectful and be thorough and be detailed so we can understand your position and why you are pushing for war, basically. Because if we intervene, guess what? Putin said we're going to see consequences like we've never seen before. And I believe that man. You ever see that man riding a horse with no shirt? That guy don't play. And Biden, he could barely speak. Biden's a punk, and Biden's not going to do anything, and that's why he's pushing it like that now. Remember this. When Trump was in president, there was no conflicts. We weren't going to war. People were mad because he was making peace. How can you be mad at peace? How can you be mad at the man for making peace with Putin or making peace with the leader of North Korea? I think his name is Kim Jong-un or something like that, the funny haircut. Loves Dennis Rodman because he loves basketball. He grew up watching basketball, the Bulls. Right? How can you be mad at that? But people criticize Trump for doing that. And I'm not saying I'm a Republican or a Trump supporter. I'm just a guy that looks at things in an unbiased view. And I bring it to you guys untainted, unbiased, and unfiltered. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. Thank you for joining me tonight. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. And shout out to everyone that's talking about this show, talking about me. I think they coined the phrase Freddie Vasquez because if you go against the system, if you speak out against the system, then you're doing a Freddie Vasquez. And I like that. Thank you, guys. I'm honored. I'm really honored. I am. I got my own coined thing. So cool, man. And to the lady that saw me and recognized me, the old Spanish lady. Hello. Hola, señorita. I forgot her name. She says, I see you all the time. I don't know who she was. That's cool. But thank you guys for talking. You're never going to know who the sources are. You're never going to know because I'm always going to keep them secret. Always. Always. So anyway, I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a great night, rest of the night. I will see you tomorrow for the week in review. Maybe I'll talk about more bochinche then. I'll talk a little bit about bochinche. Well, give me some bochinche. If it's good, I'll talk about it. Hit me up. You guys know how to hit me up. All right. And shout out to everyone that's doing stuff in the community. You guys know who you are. I had a good conversation with somebody not too long ago, man. Very passionate about helping. And I appreciate you standing up for me. Thank you. That means a lot. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. Have a great night. Enjoy. Thank you, beautiful people. Keep an eye on Ukraine. Let's not go to war. Robert Baker. Don't call people cowards. Okay? That was a coward move. Enjoy your night, folks. Take care.
Let's get it popping.
Yes, I am Freddie Vasquez, and I love to get it popping. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. That was your short episode on Ukraine situation and a few updates on local politics. If you're interested, check out the Ada Medina campaign kickoff fundraiser at the Castle Royale, March 16th from 6 to 7 p.m. And by the way, this episode was sponsored by Body Sculpting. Right? You want to sculpt your body, you want to look good. People are into cosmetic surgery, right? But this is without the surgery, right? $125 a session and half-hour session. Laser lipo, 20 minutes. Cavitation, I don't know what that is. You may know. 15 minutes ad. I'll post this up as an ad. There's a lot of stuff, information here, but I just wanted to mention that. And I do this for no money because I do this to support local businesses and local entrepreneurs. Okay, this is why I do this. Body sculpting. You're into laser lipo, right? You want to tighten up your skin. You know what I mean? I'm gonna post it up. You hit it up. And there you go. And get your stuff tightened up. Summer's coming up. You want to look good. You want to be in your bikini body, I guess. So, and all you other business owners, if you want me to shout you out, promote your business, reach out. politicwithfred@gmail.com. Again, it's politicwithfred@gmail.com. I will promote your business. All right. I will definitely promote your business because I want to local business. I want to definitely get the word out. All right. We got to help our local businesses. That's the backbone of this country. That's the middle class, folks. Freddie Vasquez, good night. I'm going to put that up. If you're interested in lipo tightening up for the summer, I'll put up the ad on the page. Check it out. Have a good night.
Freddie with